Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the PTE-A or PTE academic exam. I'll give you an overview of the entire exam and also explain how the exam is scored on the Pearson Global Scale of English. So unlike other gateway exams like IELTS, the PTE exam is broken into 3 different parts. Part 1 will be a combination speaking and writing. Part 2 is going to be reading, and finally Part 3 will be listening. In the next slide, we can see an overview of the speaking and writing part of the exam. This part of the exam will last for between 77 and 93 minutes. Speaking is divided into 2 separate sections. The first thing you'll need to do in section 1 is give a personal introduction for 1 minute. This part of the exam is unscored and it gives the system a chance to recognize your voice. Immediately after section 1, you'll move to section 2, which has 5 different task types. And you'll have to do a total of between 35 and 42 tasks in this section of the exam. Finally, we'll move on to the writing part of the exam in sections 3 to 6. There are only 2 task types in this part of the exam: summarize a written text and write an essay. And you'll have to do 4 different tasks in this part of the exam. The writing section will last for between 50 and 60 minutes. The next slide shows part 2 of the exam, which is reading. This part of the exam will last for between 32 and 41 minutes, and there's only 1 section in this exam. There are 5 different task types, and the first task type, fill in the blanks, reading and writing, is an integrated task, which means it's a combination reading and writing core skills task. You'll have to complete between 15 and 20 different tasks in this part of the exam. The next slide shows the listening part of the exam, part 3. This is split into 2 different sections and will last for between 45 and 57 minutes. In section 1, you'll have to do 2 to 3 spoken summary text tasks. Next, in section 2, there are 7 different task types, and you'll have to do between 15 and 22 tasks in this part of the exam, and it will last for between 23 and 28 minutes. So once you've finished the exam, you'll be sent a score report like this one right here. The score report can be broken into 5 different sections. In the lower right corner is the candidate information, and this includes information such as your date of birth, your country of residence, and your country of citizenship. Directly above the candidate information is the test center information, which includes information such as the test date and the test center country. At the top right of the score report is your overall score, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in the next slide. In the middle of the score report, we can see the 4 core skills broken down into individual scores. And in the lower left corner, we can see your skills breakdown. So we have the 4 core skills, and underneath them, your English ability is further broken down into the enabling skills of grammar, oral fluency, pronunciation, speaking, vocabulary, and written discourse. In the next slide, we can see the overall score aligned with the Pearson Global Scale of English. The Pearson Global Scale of English goes from a minimum of 10 to a maximum of 90. So we can see that a score of 80 is very high on the GSE. We can also align this score of 80 onto the Common European Framework of Reference, or KEFA, and a score of 80 on the GSE aligns with a C1 on the KEFA, which is a really high score. So to sum up, PTE can be a really great choice if you feel that you perform well under stressful situations, you don't mind having your voice recorded, and you have clear English pronunciation. Just don't forget to check your immigration and education requirements to see if the exam is really for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great PTE tips.